The cafeteria buzzed with the usual midday chaos. Trays clattered, voices overlapped, and the smell of pizza mixed with fries filled the air. Students clustered in groups, laughing, gossiping, some scrolling through their phones while others argued over who would win the next basketball game. It was noisy, messy, and alive, the kind of atmosphere where one new face could never slip by unnoticed. And that day, a new girl walked into the cafeteria carrying a tray that shook slightly in her hands. Her name was Emily. She had transferred just a week ago, a quiet girl with pale skin, long brown hair tied into a simple braid, and big gray eyes that seemed to hold stories she never told. She wore no flashy clothes, no makeup like the other girls, and her uniform looked slightly oversized, as if it had belonged to someone else before her. She didn't try to draw attention. Yet her silence made her stand out even more. As she scanned the crowded room, looking for a seat, whispers started. "That's the new girl," someone muttered. Another chuckled. "She doesn't talk to anyone." And then, from the far side of the cafeteria, came the sound that always signaled trouble, mocking laughter. 3 boys sat at one of the central tables. Jason, tall and broad-shouldered, captain of the soccer team, always acting like the cafeteria belonged to him. Beside him was Ryan, his loyal sidekick, skinny but sharp-tongued, the type who enjoyed adding fuel to Jason's fire. The third was Cole, a joker who never passed up a chance to humiliate someone, especially if the crowd was watching. Together, they ruled their corner of the cafeteria. Together, they found new targets every day. And today, their eyes locked on Emily. "Hey, new girl." Jason's voice cut through the cafeteria noise like a whip. Heads turned, conversations paused. Emily froze in her spot, tray in hand, her face warming with the sudden attention. "Don't just stand there," Cole added with a grin.
"Come sit with us.
"We'll teach you the rules around here." His tone dripped with mockery, and Ryan leaned back in his chair, smirking like he already knew where this was going. Emily hesitated. Her tray trembled slightly, the carton of milk wobbling on the edge. She considered ignoring them, walking away, but she could already feel dozens of eyes on her. The silence waiting. The trap was set. Jason smirked wider when she didn't respond. "What's wrong? Cat got your tongue? Or maybe you're too good to sit with us." He gestured exaggeratedly toward their table. "Come on, we don't bite a well. Maybe Cole does." Laughter erupted from his group, and Ryan clapped the table as if the joke was the funniest thing he had ever heard. Emily finally started walking. Not toward them, but toward an empty table in the corner. That small act of resistance, her refusal to play their game, was enough to make Jason's grin falter. No one ignored him. No one walked away. "Wow," Ryan said loudly, making sure the whole cafeteria heard. "Guess she thinks she's too good for us. Look at that, new girl already acting like a princess." Cole stood up, exaggeratedly bowed, and then pretended to trip forward, bumping into Emily's tray just as she set it down. Her milk spilled across the table, her sandwich slid to the floor, and gasps rippled through the cafeteria. Laughter followed, loud and cruel. Emily stood frozen, her hands clenched, her braid falling over her shoulder as she stared at the mess. Jason leaned back in his chair, watching with satisfaction. Oops. Guess she didn't know this is the kind of cafeteria where you have to earn your place. Emily bent down to pick up the sandwich, but Ryan stepped forward, kicked it further away and sneered. "Don't worry, we'll buy you a dog bowl next time." The laughter grew harsher, echoing off the walls. Some students laughed because they were scared not to. Others laughed because they wanted to fit in. A few looked uncomfortable but stayed silent, afraid to be the next target. Emily's hands shook as she reached for the crumpled sandwich, then stopped. Her eyes lifted, slowly, deliberately, and locked onto Jason's. For the first time, he felt a chill crawl up his spine. Her gray eyes weren't watery or broken like he expected. They were calm, steady, and frighteningly cold. It was as if she was silently measuring him, memorizing him, preparing for something he couldn't yet understand. Cole waved his hand in front of her face. "Earth to new girl? You gonna cry now? Don't worry, we love tears, they make the food taste better." But Emily didn't cry, she didn't even look at him. Instead, she picked up the milk carton, uprighted it, and calmly wiped the table with a napkin. Every movement was slow, controlled, almost deliberate. The laughter faltered just a little, confused by her lack of reaction. Jason stood up, unwilling to let his control slip. He walked over, towering above her, his voice sharp. "Look, new girl, maybe you don't get how things work here. You either laugh with us or you get laughed at." That's the rule. And right now, you're the joke. Emily finally spoke, her voice quiet but clear. Then maybe your rules are broken. The cafeteria went dead silent. Nobody ever talked back to Jason. Ryan's mouth fell open and Cole blinked in disbelief. Jason's face darkened, his pride stung like a wound. What did you just say? He growled, stepping closer. Emily looked up at him, unflinching. I said your rules are broken. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Phones came out, cameras already recording. Something in the air shifted, tense and electric. Jason's jaw tightened, his hands balling into fists. He had two options: back down and look weak, or push harder and prove his dominance. Everyone knew which option he would choose. But what no one knew, not Jason, not Ryan, not Cole, not even the students holding their breath, was that Emily wasn't the fragile, helpless new girl they assumed she was. She had walked through storms far harsher than cafeteria bullies. She had carried weights heavier than their cruel laughter. And beneath her quiet exterior, a strength waited, silent, patient, unshakable. As Jason leaned in, ready to deliver another insult, Emily's eyes didn't flinch. Her lips curved just slightly, not in a smile, but in something far more dangerous. And in that moment, before anything even happened, every student watching felt it in their bones that whatever was about to unfold, they would never forget it. The cafeteria, once full of laughter, now sat in suspended silence. And Emily, the quiet girl no one knew, had just become the center of it all.